Hello, I'm FPL MV and welcome back to another FPL preseason video. When building your draft for game week 1, it's utterly important to choose the best cheap defenders to enable your team. Your fourth and fifth choice in defense has to be 4.5 and below. So today I prepared 9 players that can go directly in your game week 1 squad if you like them and like their fixtures. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to reach 500 subscribers before the start of the season. If you think I missed someone from those cheap defenders, write him down in the comment section. And now let's head into the first players review. We're starting with one of the best enablers right now in the game. It's Bell from Luton. He's 4.0 and he played a lot of minutes last season. He was almost viable in every game, so he was playing. They're playing 3 at the back. We have to see in preseason if they remain that way, but if they do, having a center back from Luton as your 5th choice defender can never go wrong, because you basically will use him in a very emergent situations, because at the start of the season there are no too many injuries, no too many rotations, and going into your second or third choice on the bench seems very unlikely. But you need to be prepared if something like that occurs. Bell is the best choice for you. Center back playing on the left side. He played a lot of minutes, as I already mentioned. He doesn't have a lot of goal threat, and I don't expect Luton to keep a lot of clean sheets. But for a nailed player and a starter for a Luton team who has the best fixture run, in my opinion, for the first 8 game weeks from all of the teams, even though they are not as good as the others, it's a pretty strong and viable thing to consider. So consider Bell to be your 5th choice. There are some other 4.0 players that I've discussed here. Wait and see them, but for me he is the most nailed one, and that's so being the most preferred one from almost everyone who builds their first drafts for the game week 1 for the upcoming FPL season. Next up we have Rico Henry. He is left back for Brentford. He's 4.5 and he's delivering good numbers. Last season he played very well. He was not rotated as much as I was expecting because they signed a brand new left back, but they did not deploy him a lot. So Henry was making this left back position his own. I owned him for some times and he was very good. He is going forward. If they play 5 at the back, which most probably they will, he is going to be their wingback, so basically a left winger for a 4.5. If you think Brentford has good fixtures, you can go for Rico Henry. Ben Mee, on the other hand, is way too expensive this season, 5.0. In my opinion, he is a better defender than Henry. But for that price, going fourth on your defensive pecking order and getting a 5.0 defender seems very unlikely, because you're just wasting money on your bench, in my opinion. And he can be deployed in a lot of games because Brentford tend to do well against strong oppositions as well. So fixtures don't affect a lot Brentford, in my opinion. They're a good team whenever they feel like, so they're just a risk team to consider, but fixture wise they're somehow a little proof from the middle of the pack, because they have a pretty solid foundations, good goalkeeper, good defensive lines, strong midfielders that can go into tackle, so keeping a clean sheet from Brentford is expected, and Rico Henry getting those attacking returns and those defensive and clean sheet points will be very good for your ranking. I have a lot more 4.5, so wait and see them all, but Rico Henry is a strong contender to go into your game week 1 squads. Next up we have a little bit of placeholder here. It's 4.5 for Cowell, but you can go for Fofana or Badiashile, we don't know yet. Chelsea will deploy a new pairing in defense for sure, and one of the 4.5s will start next to Thiago Silva, or most probably there will be 2 4.5s that play in for Chelsea, and having a 4.5 defender for Chelsea being your rotatable one, like rotating with someone else like Rico Henry, for example, will be very good. Chelsea have some tricky fixtures at the first couple of game weeks, but after that is a clean slate, and if you get the correct center back and you don't want to invest too much money for Chilwell or Rich James and you're there just for the defensive points, you cannot go at least not too wrong about it. Even if something happens and the center back is not playing, you can always deploy your other 4.5 defender. I'm even considering this if I need money to lower down Chilwell to a 4.5 Chelsea center back and just get the money from there. I will have 1 million to invest somewhere else and I will feel pretty good about it. But for now, 4.5, a very solid defender. Cowell, a very good defender. I believe that he may be nailed if he starts because left-sided center back, he's good with the ball, everything that Pochettino enjoys. He's young, he's playing very well for England for Euro under 21, and yeah, pretty good things to consider about Cowell. That's why I chose him to be the representative of Chelsea center back pairing. But if you get it correctly and if you get the best Chelsea defender, you can save a little bit of money from Chilwell. Yeah, you won't get the same attacking returns or for Rhys James, but you get those defensive points for sure and some bonuses if they keep a 1-0 score because or 0-0 because central backs seems to get those bonus points when this happens. So consider a 4.5 defender for Chelsea if you don't like their wing backs for now. In my opinion, they're better than the center backs, but if you need to save some money and you need to get someone far better in up front and midfield and you need that 1 million, a 4.5 defender from Chelsea looks a very good option. Next up we have on FPL Legends to say it's Aaron Cresswell from West Ham. He's now 4.5. This price drop is because he's not nailed anymore, but if he becomes nailed for 4.5 for someone that takes free kicks and corner kicks, being a defender is a very good price when West Ham fixtures turn for the better and when they settle with a life after Declan Rice. Cresswell can become a very good option. I don't consider him for a game week 1 squad basically, but if you feel adventurous and want to settle for a risky pick that has high ceiling but very low lows, you can go for Cresswell. He is a good defender, FPL royalty basically because he is a free kick taker from a defensive position, which is a very good thing to have in your team. Consider him for your shortlist for sure and take a eye on him and look out for him because Cresswell can deliver a lot points. Yeah, West Ham fixtures are not good, but I could not mention Cresswell because he is that good and he's FPL royalty and he is for reason. If he is nailed and if he plays instead of Emerson, Palmieri, I believe it was the guy that was playing in front of him, Cresswell can become a very good pick for your defense for a very cheap price. Next up we have the heart of the Crystal Palace defense, Gay. He is now an English international. He's playing very well. He's solid. He is very good defensively. He's good offensively as well. He can score some goals from set pieces. He's reliable. He's almost never got out of position and getting a red card. He's, as I already mentioned, solid. Roy Hodgson is staying at Crystal Palace, so their defenders are good. You can opt for Mitchell, but in my opinion, Gay is more nailed, and you'll get the 90 minutes from him because Mitchell was last season injured, and during that another left back was playing, so Gay must be nailed. As I already explained, he's the soul of the team, and you cannot go wrong with Gay. I believe they are better 4.5 defenders for now, but if you want something a little bit different and want to take an upper hand and just have a backup option that's going to play 90 minutes and you enjoy Crystal Palace style, you can go for Gay. 4.5, nothing too spectacular about his price because he is not being so consistent because Crystal Palace weren't so consistent, but I believe this season they will have a very good season, so Mark Gay can boost up your rank a lot if you believe in him for a short duration of time during Crystal Palace best fixtures. It's not from the start, but you can add him to the shortlist just like Cresswell. Basically the two of them are together for me. They are shortlisted for now, but not going into the game week 1 draft, most probably for sure. Next up, we have a little bit of a wild card here. It's Tarek Lamptey. Tarek Lamptey was one of the hottest prospects in FPL a couple of seasons ago when he was having an attacking turn almost each and every game, but he is very injury prone. But if he can get a starting role in a Brighton's team, being that offensive for that low of a price, and Veltman just dropped his place for him, he will be very good. We just need to see how they are going to line up in preseason, and maybe you can replace Ivan Estupiñán with him because you can save 1 million, and if they're both nailed, I believe Lamptey is even better than Estupiñán. The only thing worrying is his not defensive record, but injury record, sorry. his defensive play is good, he's fast, he's agile, he's very, very resourceful, and he can make a tackle for sure. So going for Wamchi, if he is nailed, will be a very wild card decision for you. And you can gain a lot of points from him because he's getting an attack, a penalty threats, he's getting goals, he's taking shots, he's doing everything. And if he remains injury free for a period of time, he can be a starter in your team for 4.0, which will be ideal for your midfielders and forwards because you will be able to invest a lot of money in them. Next up, we have Matt Cash. This is one of the biggest surprise for me that he was kept as a 4.5 defender. He doesn't have anyone to replace him right now, so he will be nailed if he's injury free. He can go forward. I believe Aston Villa will improve massively. If Moreno is out, it will be Gini and Cash on both flanks, and Cash will be the more attacking one in my opinion. He's 4.5, the same price as Minks, but better offensively. Yeah, he may not get the same bonus points, and Minks is a very good threat from aerial threat from set pieces, but Match Cash is very good threat from shooting outside of the box, going forward and just bombarding the field, providing assists to Watkins and to maybe Buendia slash Bailey. So 4.5 for a fullback from Aston Villa seems like a steal. For me, they're a very good side. They will improve. And at some point, Match Cash can deliver a lot of points. And I believe if you start with him, you will not be mistaken. Because even though they have hard games, you can always put him on the bench and just have a reliable option when the time comes. And yeah, Match Cash, a pretty good rotation with Cresswell, by the way. I made a video about the defensive rotations. You can check it in my channel. But yeah, Match Cash, you can pick Match Cash and Cresswell and rotate them both together. You'll get a very solid defensive pair that can be rotated for almost 9 million. So FPL good players for 9 million, rotating wise, good fixture, everything you can want. But I believe the next two guys that I'm going to showcase are the best 4.5 defenders. So now let's continue to the second to last player. If I was surprised by the Match Cash price, I was more than surprised seeing Botman being 4.5. He's a 4.5 defender playing for a Champions League defense basically, and he's nailed because he's their best center back. He's not as big of a threat like Shar is from set pieces, but for 4.5 you'll get almost the same returns as Shar, and you'll be able to drop him on the bench whenever you feel like and when you need. You can even afford him if he starts banging points and you don't hold him, but for me, starting with Botman, you cannot go wrong. Rico Henry and Botman have a very good rotation, so picking Botman and Henry can be as dangerous as picking Cash and Cresswell. You just need to find the right balance. With Botman and Henry, you get least amount of attacking returns but more defensive returns. With Cash and Cresswell, you can get more attacking returns than defensive returns, so it depends on your style of game. But Botman and Henry for a third and fourth defender, even for fourth and fifth you are playing with 4-4-2 or 4-5-1, it's a very good choice. Botman, a solid defender, has some attacking threat in him. He is playing as a left center back, which is very, very good for these days because it's not very common that a left center back is that good. And in my opinion, you cannot go wrong if you select Botman for your game week 1 selection team. And the last guy today that we're going to discuss is Tarkowski. For me, Everton defense is a very good option. They have an amazing start of the season going defensively, and they will improve massively under Sean Dyche for sure. After he came as their coach, they improved massively from Frank Lampard. It was not very hard, but they were keeping a lot of clean sheets. Tarkowski is a good aerial threat. He knows how to play under Sean Dyche, knows what the coach expects from him, so Tarkowski can be a very hidden gem this year. Having an Everton defender looks alright for the start of the season because, as I already mentioned, you can just put him on your bench and when they have hard games, just drop him. But when they have good games, he will be a very viable option to replace some of the players that you have in the team. If you get a good rotational player with him, you can go very, very upfront in the season and have very good defensive returns. He can surprise you with a goal each game basically because a goal threat is always imminent when they have set pieces. But for me, Tarkowski is the most solid one. Pickford is good as well, but if you want to see that video, I will be dropping it out soon where I'll discuss the cheap goalkeepers. Pickford will be in it for sure in my opinion because he is that good. But for now, Tarkowski looks like a very strong contender to be in my game week 1 squad because I want a piece of that Everton defense, and Tarkovsky looks like the best player. Patterson was another option, but with Coman staying in the team, you cannot see where this will go, and yeah, maybe Patterson will be nailed, but Tarkovsky for me has the better upper hand because a lot of games will finish 0-0, and having a defender from a team that gets 0-0, it's always good because they get the bonus points basically, and having Tarkovsky as their first starting choice of a defender is always good, and you cannot go too wrong with him. That wraps up the reviews of the 9 players. If you think I missed someone, write him down in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here and want to see many more videos from me. But for now, guys, I'll be heading out. Bye!